Hey guys, good morning. Steve from Different Chick Farm and Orchards. Well, this morning I am doing a task that I didn't get to accomplish last year due to a foot injury. Well, technically not an injury, but anyway, I was down. Not walking is not walking. So today we're going to talk about isolating pepper plants. We're going to talk about the steps needed, talk about your options. I'm going to show you one option, which is the option we're using this year. This year we are going to a 100% isolated seed stock. Everything I saved this year will be from isolated plants. And so in case you don't know what isolated means, that means you are securing the plant to the best of your ability. Anybody that says that there absolutely no possible way that any of their stuff has ever been crossed, they're either misleading you or lying to you, or they just don't understand. And I don't say that to be mean. I say that to be honest. Nature always finds a way. So even with our best efforts, there's always that possibility that a piece of pollen ends up somewhere you don't want it. Now the other thing, I hear a lot of people jump to conclusions about, oh, well, this person lied. They didn't isolate their plants. Well, keep in mind that nature always finds a way. But, back to nature always finding a way, genetics of our peppers and so forth is pretty complicated. So, that complicated genetics sometimes can reveal itself in a new variant when that variant wasn't even intentionally made or even accidentally made. We've got a few thousand peppers on the farm. If I didn't isolate, odds are 25% or more of my seeds would not be what they were supposed to be. Some of your stronger heirlooms would stand strong and hold up against the crosses, and they do. I've done this for years. It works. But some of the stuff that's more apt to cross, and a Carolina Reaper is definitely a great example, and some of your more modern stuff, but some of the stuff that's more apt to cross, they easily push out new variants constantly. And that is not what we're looking for normally. Now, I like some accidental variants, so I will save seeds for me from some of the stuff that I'm just hoping to see what happens. And I'll do some intentional crosses, for fun, and see if anything cool comes out. But when you get into genetics, peppers can throw a pod even though it has been stable for years. And the other thing is, you take even an orange habanero, you may get somebody that accidentally let something cross into that years back, and they may have produced orange habaneros for years, and then all of a sudden it pops out something else. So it's not necessarily the person who sold you the seeds or the pepper's fault. Now, let's go to the other side of the story. There is those suppliers that consistently give you bad quality seeds. Consistently, they're not what they say they are. So that's the ones you want to avoid. Those are the ones that, 50% of the time you get what you're supposed to, 50% of the time you don't. And these seed suppliers know who they are most of the time. But anyway, I'm going to turn you around and show you what we're doing. I'm going to give you a quick rundown of the progress in the pepper garden and the weeds. We've been planting other stuff, so the weeding hasn't been done. I've done a little bit. So I've got to get down here hopefully this week coming and get all of this weeded and back in good shape before it gets out of control. So let's turn around and take a look. So this, minus right over there, which is watermelons and okra, this is our hot peppers and super hot peppers. So what I've got to do is get these isolated so that all the peppers are pure. So that when I save my seed stock, I've saved my seed stock from my best options. Now here's what I'm talking about. I've got to get these weeds out of here. These weeds take over really quick, and they're just draining nutrients from the pepper plant. There we got one that actually there probably wasn't one there. So anyway, all right, now let's go look at what we got to work with today. So here, I forgot, here's some hot peppers also. These are basically jalapeno types. Some of them are looking real good. Peppers should be, jalapenos should be around the corner on these. So okay, so today we're working with these. It's a drawstring bag, and this is what it's for, is isolating. And I'll use a stake to keep the bag up off of the plant. And this is simply an old tomato stake that had seen its usefulness and started to rot at the bottom. So I cut it off and cut a new point to it, putting it to work. So let's start right here with our red ghost. Now I see this plant already has quite a few pods on it. And that was the one I was going to isolate. And so does this one. So what I'll do is go ahead, I know, seems like sacrilegious, it seems awful, but I'm going to pull all the open blooms off. I'm going to pull all the pods off. Now if you look, that is not opened yet, so that bloom is okay. But I have got to go through here and make sure I get all the rest. I'll bring y'all back in just a second. Okay guys, a couple of talking points before we close this video out that I realized I didn't finish covering in the video itself. I don't want to leave you hanging or sound like I was being overly judgmental. If someone is only growing one variety of peppers and they don't have any neighbors growing peppers, then they might come out with peppers that are not, we'll say virtually no chance. We'll say they're 99% chance of no cross-pollination. Problem happens when your neighbor is growing one pepper in his backyard in a pot that you don't even know he grows peppers. And I realize that some people live way out in the country. For example, where I used to live several years back in eastern Kentucky, I didn't have a neighbor other than my grandparents and my dad that were within a quarter mile of me. It was all mountains behind me, and wild peppers don't grow in eastern Kentucky, so you don't have to worry about wild peppers. And then I was the furthest one back on the mountain, so it was a long ways down to the neighbor at the road who didn't grow any peppers. Old man, he didn't grow nothing. And then the neighbor beside them, I could see all of their yard. They didn't grow anything, but like I said, they were a long ways down the driveway. So in theory, I could have isolated one variety of pepper in my garden and saved seeds from it and been 99% confident it didn't cross-pollinate. But that being said, where I live now, as far as I know, I don't have a neighbor that grows a pepper. But I can't confirm that. My closest neighbor that might grow a pepper is probably several thousand yards from where I grow peppers. So the chance of cross-pollinating with one of his would be slim, but possible. But that's why I choose to isolate. And isolation gives you a 99.99, almost what we'd say 100% ability to be really super confident that your pepper has been isolated properly. So if you get anything, it's a mutation. Nothing wrong with mutations. Some cool stuff has been made from mutations. And I just want y'all to understand this. I want you to be clear. But also I wanted to discuss one more thing on a very positive note. The reason we isolate as hobbyists, we isolate so that we can continue that genetic strain. So we can continue to grow a pepper that we're super fond of. And also because sometimes the seeds are hard to get. So mine may be the only one that I have access to. And also, these seeds are getting expensive. I mean, we're up to, some suppliers are now putting 6 seeds in a pack. 8 to 10 is normal. And some suppliers are getting up there at $10 a pack on seeds. And I understand, it's a lot of work. I'm not knocking those suppliers that get $10 for 10 seeds. It's a lot of work. A lot of work. So more power to them. So, and again, if you need seeds this year, check out our website. It's a different chick farm and orchard.com. And we will have, right now what's listed on there is non-isolated seeds. But in October, early November, maybe even a little earlier, but we'll note it on the website when we do, we will make the changeover. And at that point, the website will tell you that everything is isolated. But I've already sold out of what isolated seeds I had for this year, like I said, due to a foot injury. But next year, we'll go to a 100% isolated model. So if you're needing seeds, check us out. Have a good day. Okay, I have went over this plant a few times. And gotten everything off of it. I have driven my tomato stake in the ground. So now let's put the bag on. Okay, so as you can see, got it bagged, tied at the bottom, and peppers are self-pollinating, so the wind and so forth will pollinate them. If you want a little extra, come by and give it a little jiggle every now and then. So now my red ghost is isolated and ready for me to save seeds from. And there'll be a few varieties of peppers that I'll save seeds from more than one plant, but most of them I'll get an abundant enough crop. I'm not a big time seed dealer, that I can produce the seeds I need and the seeds that I'll sell. So that being said, if you're looking for isolated seeds of some rare, hot and super hot peppers, give us a holler. Make sure you like and subscribe to our channel. We will be doing updates probably weekly or bi-weekly this year to keep you updated on the growth of the pepper plants and show you what we've got going on. These guys are starting to put pods on really good. So it won't be long. We'll be updating you on harvesting. Bring you over here and show you. Most of the time I pick my peppers off, but I really wanted these little cayennes, so I've been letting these little Buena Mulatas produce me some cayennes. I'll pick all these off today, the ripe ones and the non-ripe ones, as long as they're up to a decent size. But I've got enough of them that slowing them down on production ain't gonna kill me. So here we go, guys. All right, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope this was helpful. Now, if you want to look, we've got another video on isolating peppers that shows you another way to do these. And that might be better for the home gardener, the hobbyist, but we're kind of past hobby now. It started out as a hobby, but we're way past hobby now. So, anyway, hey, y'all might get a rare treat. Tiffany might say hi to you before I shut this video down. Let's see if she wants to show us her pretty smile.
Hello, everybody.
Tiffany?
Yes.
I showed them how we're isolating peppers this year.
Ah.
I had to pick 2 nice ghost pods off of our red ghost plant because they had already grown.
Darn.
And several small ones.
Yeah.
So that makes us sad.
It does. Hopefully it'll make it grow quicker though, so it's okay.
All right, guys. Y'all take care. God bless you.